Bring us in when you're ready, Mudman.
As long as I'm not doing the intro.
All right, but it is uh Podgecast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Podcast.
and it's your one-stop shop for all things vibes. That's
Yes,
your trademark.
I remembered that
Yes.
part.
All right, that's your trademark.
Podcast. Hello and welcome. This is the TST Podgecast. I am the Mudman here with the Professor and Caution Fun, and we are your one-stop shop for all things vibe related, whether it be meta, whether it be the cool tea, or any of the world's gossip. That's what we're talking about today. Caution, Professor, how are you feeling today?
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back, vibing with you guys.
Same here. I'm glad to be back. Not sure where you guys been, but I'm glad you guys are back now.
We've been in Portland.
Oh, Portland. What was going on in Portland?
Just the first ever Vibes World Championship Tournament weekend spectacular extravaganza.
Yeah, invite only unless you won the first LCQ, last chance qualifier.
Yeah, invite only, but like the tickets are free and anybody can come in.
Yeah, 8 more people could have won. 3 more people got into the big show.
Yeah, I liked the Friday tournament, the last chance qualifier. That was a good tournament.
Yeah, the qualifier was fun. It was real cool seeing all of the various community members, whether it be the OCG team or the Vibes players in general. That was really cool.
Yeah, 100%. Man, that was honestly like leading up to the trip. Obviously, we were heads down, knee deep in preparation, trying to do our best, perform our best at the weekend for sure. But I'd be lying if I said that was the part I was most excited about. The thing I was most excited about was meeting a bunch of people that I've held in my heart as dear friends for like, over half a decade that I had just never met in person before. That was definitely the most exciting part for me. And Friday was a little bit overstimulating for that reason, but in the best way.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got to meet Professor for the first time in person. Got to meet Rid for the first time.
Big shout to Rid.
Yeah, I got to see Rock Metal again.
Dr. Camel.
Dr. Camel, Mindstorm, all the classic TST faces and Vibes faces.
Absolutely.
And then of course Jeremy was there, Clur was there, even
Nick Birdo.
Yeah, Nick Birdo, but like Blue Goo as well is what I was trying to think of. Blue Goo was there. That was a cool surprise.
That was a fun surprise.
Yeah, everybody was there except, of course, the founder of Vibes himself.
Yeah, well, Elliot was there.
Elliot was there.
Sneaker Dad was there.
Sneaker Dad was there. Almost the whole team was there. Jose didn't show up. That was unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Not gonna lie, I definitely was expecting to see Spencer there, for sure.
Yeah, he was feeling a little burbish and was a little preoccupied. I did ask the team members about him as well. So this was my first Vibes in-person tournament, so I was very excited. I usually mostly exclusively play online, but I did buy a few cards at the very beginning, and so in one of those packs, I luckily pulled a foil red Mega Penguin. So I immediately kept that safe. Didn't know why, but just, it's a foil, kept it safe and secure. Then when I found out that we were going to all go to Portland and meet the team, I assumed he would be there. And the story is the red Mega Penguin is Penguin. So made sure I packed it safely, brought it with me, and was looking forward to getting him autograph it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's a heck of a pull. Definitely keep that safe. Any foil epic from Enter the Huddle for sure. But yeah, that would have been a really cool keepsake, something to remember the tournament by.
So you got it signed by like Sneaker Dad instead?
No. I just made myself be the kid that wakes up in Christmas and there's no present under the tree.
Gosh.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah. It's a sad time, but not to take away from the event, as you guys have said.
I was going to say, I hope the rest of the event was okay for you.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I mean, starting here, we are looking at just all the players. This was the Friday tournament, as Caution Fun and Budman stated. We saw a bunch of TST community members. We got Barbecue right here, right across from Caution Fun. Caution Fun has got that great hoodie on with the word fun. You could even see on here on the left side, we've got the Mudman.
Oh yeah,
You
World.
remember who you're playing there, Mudman?
That's Puppet, no?
I think that's Puppet, yeah.
Right. And then it was a stacked field. You could already see from this picture, besides Puppet and Mudman, you've got
We got Chonker in the background there.
right, Chonker
deep
right
nook.
there.
We got the world champion just to Mudman's left.
Right.
Ended up taking the whole thing on Sunday. Dr. Camel on the right there. Community
Yeah.
moderator / legend. Yeah, all the stars were out, really.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
great
everyone.
showing.
Looks like Doc Camel's in for a intense matchup there.
Yeah, absolutely. His opponent looks locked in.
Yeah. All right. So let's go back to our agenda here. So meeting the community members, meeting the team members. What do we want to jump into? Our tournaments?
Sure, might as well start with the LCQ. Professor, what did you play for the last chance qualifier?
For the last chance qualifier, okay, so Caution Fund mentioned the preparation. So I think as a team and community, we were in discussion of what to bring, what to expect. I think a lot of us expected Friday to reflect what the strongest decks would be, but with a little twist of maybe some people won't be playing their best decks. So with that thinking, I went with a Green Mega Caffeine Coliseum deck for looking for quick matches and just to kind of get myself ready for Saturday. How about you guys?
I went with Yum Yum Yellow. I decided against playing that for Worlds, but I still wanted to play it at some point. So the last chance qualifier seemed like a good opportunity. It went decently. I didn't like top cut or anything, but it was still fun. And then Caution, what did you go with?
I went with Luca Saves the Penguins Green. Just because, I figured, might as well play a top meta deck. There's money on the line. I'm just kidding. I really wanted to play green. In the lead up to the tournament, I kept trying to make a green deck work centered around that classic clam juggler, what a twist combo. Couldn't get it going. We've all seen Lofty's tier list. There's a reason that green.
I don't think Green was even on the tier list.
It wouldn't surprise me. That said, literally the day before leaving, I put together a green list centered around Luca Saves the Penguins. I think I went like 3-1 on the ladder. I was like, good enough for me. Might as well bring it. Run it on Friday, do a little scouting without giving away my Worlds deck. Hopefully just play one Luca at some point, have some fun, Friday fun day, just, get in the groove like Professor was saying. And ended up just like winning like a whole bunch. I went 7-1 in the Swiss. Won my top 8 matchup and then lost in the semifinals to No I'm Not on my right in the picture there, who ended up going on to win the whole thing, the Friday last chance qualifier 10K. But yeah, all I was hoping going into the tournament, I was just like, hey, if I win one game with a Luca Saves the Penguins, like I'll be happy. I'm playing with house money at that point. And my first, second, and fourth games I won with Luca Saves the Penguins on the last turn. Went better than I ever could have imagined. Had a blast playing, had a blast meeting a bunch of new players, including the fellow on my left in the picture there, Ben. What a great dude. Very chill guy. His main game is Magic the Gathering. And, he heard about a 10K with, less than a couple hundred signups and was like, might as well give it a shot. And played really well. Definitely a solid TCG player and super nice guy. The rest of the people in that picture there too. I had a joyous time meeting everybody, playing against everybody. Super fun time.
Yeah, so this is pretty much the top 8 of the Friday tournament. As Mudman and Caution Fun said, it was the last chance qualifier. So opportunity for players to get into the Saturday Worlds Championship, which was invite only. And we had 3 people that had to earn their ticket in, and as Caution mentioned, right in the middle here, Ben was not qualified for Saturday but made it in. We have Golgari, who flew in from Italy with just a dream and a deck, and yeah, placed top 8, and Friday made it into Saturday and actually went pretty far. And then we got, I believe Willem, also a Magic player. So that was actually I wanted to talk about that. That was a theme that I noticed talking to people and seeing the skill levels. There was quite a few Magic players that either picked up Vibes recently or just for a couple months, and they did really well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it makes sense. Vibes is pretty heavily inspired by Magic, and if you've been playing Magic for years, then you have experience with very similar cards.
Mm.
For sure, yeah. I would say like the biggest difference is like resource management. Where we don't have lands and they do. That said, as far as like being able to look at a deck list, identify the win conditions and the paths to those win conditions, that tends to translate pretty well across card games, and Vibes is no exception. And I did think it was really cool hearing their perspective. I don't know about you guys, but I heard a similar tune from every single one of them. Something along the lines of like, I thought, cute penguins, like that's cute. And then played like a game with the starter decks, and I was like, oh, this is, surprisingly deep. And, I'm really, really liking it. That was pretty much the gist of all of those conversations I had, which great sign. Good to hear.
Yeah, I agree. I usually try to talk to all my opponents before the match, or even sometimes during the match, depending on how serious their face looked. Um, but yeah, a lot of the Magic players were very, felt right at home. They were able to pick it up quickly, understand the interactions. There might be some slight nuances on how some of the stacking went, but as soon as they heard the judge's ruling, they understood exactly how it should work.
Yep. Big shouts to the judges too.
Yeah, the judges did a pretty good job for the most part. Although they were like
Right.
fairly understaffed, only like 2 main judges. And then Mark, of course, but he's in his own section.
Yeah. So speaking of his own section, and shout out to the judges, I wanted to also mention the team's production value. Not sure if you guys had a chance to watch the streamed event. So they streamed the featured matches, and here's a featured table here that we're sharing right now. But the production value was really good. Shout out to the commentators. I saw Sneaker Dad there, Elliot, Claire, Jeremy. Sneaker Dad was hilarious. I loved his commentary, but they were all good. So tell us about this feature table, guys, and you were mentioning the judge.
Yeah, that's Sashi in the background. Big shout Sashi. Yeah,
Was he?
Go ahead.
Did Sashi also was he known as something else by some of the players at the tournament?
Or if
Maybe
you ask
Ari?
Ari, he'll give you a different answer for sure. But I generally know him as Sashi, the nice judge. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, just at double echo on what you said there. The production value for the stream featured matches was fantastic. The setup was so professional. It was, I mean, I played 2 featured matches during Worlds. I know you played one.
Yeah, I played in one.
I think they did it and just an excellent job making sure that like not too much was required of the players, so we could focus on the gameplay. And yeah, I think I watched back a couple of matches on the stream there. I think I watched it on YouTube, and it looked excellent. It looked like on par with just other much bigger, more established competitive card game circuits where I've watched the tournament streams.
Yeah, it was just as nice as any like Magic tournament or Pokemon tournament.
It was really, really well done. Big
And like,
shouts.
yeah, like when you compare it to like Hartford, right, where they also had a streaming setup, and like Caution and I were both like featured games in that as well. And like the experience is like night and day. Like even like the setting up process, they tell you what table to sit down at. You sit down and the game begins in a few minutes, as opposed to sitting down, them asking you your name, how you want your name to be spelled, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And like they had like their own big dice ready for you to use. Everything looked really great. They had multiple camera angles. You could see the cards really well when they were actually on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 10
Yeah.
out of 10, no notes on the cast. I just thought it was wonderfully done. When I first saw the setup on Friday, I mean, just the setup was impressive enough. It was like
Yeah, I think the setup and
over
production
100
was
square
great.
feet.
Yeah,
of
like the
just,
only
like,
critique I would have is like they didn't have real commentators, right? Like they had like Elliot and Sneaker Dad and like Claire and all, and they were great, but like they're not here for commentating, and it's like it's pretty clear that they haven't commentated in the past.
That's
That's what I, sorry, but that's what I liked about it when I watched it back. I mean, they were really speaking just from their emotions and just like really, they were surprised as much as some of the viewers might be. They would question some interactions or maybe even get it wrong, but they would say, "Oh, that's why," blah blah blah. So I don't know. For me, I liked that part of it. I was able to connect with them better, and it entertained me.
No, that's super fair. Yeah, as far as entertainment, yeah, it was there, 100%. I understand what Mudman's saying.
Hmm.
You know, I think I think the perfect, like the ideal commentary team probably has a little bit of what you both are saying there, where you have somebody who's strictly there to analyze gameplay and try to view things from the player's perspective, whereas the other person is there to provide that more colorful commentary.
Yeah, like I know
Right.
for like Hearthstone and Pokemon, and I think it's true for Magic, but I'm not as well versed. They always go with a like a funny man, straight man motif, where they'll have one guy who's very analytical, and like knows the meta really well, and then the other guy still knows the meta and like knows and is still a good player, but he's mostly there for color commentary.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say my thoughts on that. The combination that I thought fit that well was when it was Sneaker Dad and Yo Jeremy.
No, the games I watched, Yo Jeremy wasn't featured on there, but I could imagine.
Yeah, I didn't watch
Yeah.
any with Jeremy. I haven't seen the entire thing yet, but
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. They were rotating casters around. The only thing I'll add, though, as part of the feature table experience, was besides the high production value and exclusive judge in Mark, that you could see kind of his black shirt here on the very far side of the screen. But the experience for the player, like besides what you said, it was very unobtrusive. Like I didn't, it didn't feel like it was distracting. Like you still focus on your opponent in the game. Did you guys feel that way?
100%.
yeah, for the most part, I would say we had like a little iPad next to us to maintain our permanent count, and I had a
Hmm.
real hard time remembering to do that.
Me
And
too.
yeah, and it was funny when we were sitting down, like I sat down and Mark was like, "Hey, you got this little iPad. If you remember to adjust your permanent count, go for it. If not, no big deal." And I was like, "Okay, cool, nice and relaxed." And then somebody else came up and they were like, "Hey, so this is your iPad for your permanent count. It's imperative that it's never wrong. Under no circumstances can it ever be wrong."
Yeah.
And for me, for the first like 10 turns, it was almost always wrong. Mark kept doing it for me.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, I definitely had trouble remembering to do that after my turns. But usually, by the time I remembered, or before I remembered, Mark was already over there fixing it for me. So, big shout to Mark. Made that very easy on me.
Oh, and then another
For
like quick aside, big shout out to Caution Fun. He played in the game right before me, and we both played Fuji, and he had already written out Bashful Swordsman, so I didn't have to.
I did not know that,
oh,
but you're welcome.
Yep.
oh, it was very nice of him, and I'm sure he kept the seat warm for you too, so you weren't sitting on a cold chair.
It's very warm.
Not too warm, right?
The chair was hot. I had to stand up for the first couple of turns.
Oh man.
So some would say warm and sweaty, huh?
Oh man.
All right, but yeah, I think I agree with your points. For me, the iPad was actually pretty easy to use and intuitive because as you guys know, you guys helped me prep for the physical gameplay, um, and the way I approached it was basically declaring and talking out all my moves, frequently counting the cards over and over. So I think for me, it was just part of what I needed to do.
Yeah, you were already using dice for that exact purpose.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like obsessively counting and asking my opponent like every couple of seconds how many permanents they have. Keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
Distraction factor, huh?
You gotta start
So
playing the mental game, Prof.
yeah, Yeah. All right. So before we jump off the Friday LCQ, again, this is top eight. Congratulations to Caution Fun for making it with the green deck. Question for Caution Fun. Besides Luca being impactful and a key to the deck, how much win percentage do you think was added by this thing on your waist here?
I'd say at least 20 to 30%, Professor, and I'll tell you why.
That's where he keeps all his Lucas. And he pulls them out when necessary.
Oh man, yeah. No, I think because like every single one of my opponents, first things first, they said cool fanny pack. They said thank you, and like even after the conversation
They
moved
said
on,
thank you for wearing the fanny pack?
No, I said thank you for their compliment. And then even though the conversation moved away from the fanny pack, I could tell they were still thinking about it. So, I think that definitely gave me an edge, at least in the early game.
Yeah, it was a bold move to bring the fanny pack back.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's two types of people in this world. The people that recognize that the fanny pack is the ideal form factor in terms of utility when you're walking about in a busy area like a convention, and then people who are wrong.
I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys want to move on to the Saturday tournament, or here's another shot of all the players. I think the great shot right here of how intense the competitors were.
That was my least fun game.
So your opponent didn't have a playmat. It bothered you?
It wasn't the playmat.
Well, I mean, if you track the eyesight here, the eye line of the opponent, he's staring right at the fanny pack.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that
your eyes are up there.
I think that made him slow play a bit. And I think I had to use the bathroom at that point. But what can you do?
Yep. You guys want to talk about the loot yet, or jump into the top eight or the World Championships on Saturday?
Talk about the what?
World Championships on Saturday.
What was the first option?
Talk about the loot.
The loot.
Stuff.
Oh, the stuff.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got promo cards for every event we entered. Everybody got one of the Overwhelmed with Knowledge, very cool, but everyone got tons of popcorn penguins. I got 5 without even trying.
I got 5 without even trying. How many did you get, Prof?
I got 3, and I don't. Did I give 2 away, or I gave 1 away? I gave a 1 or 2 away.
Yeah.
I only wanted 1.
It's very generous of you, as ever. Yeah, I mean, we're both fantastic promos.
Also there was Guy of Lightning. He was given out for every tournament as well.
Yeah, you really couldn't help but go home with a fistful of promos if you showed up. But yeah, look at that playmat. My gosh. But yeah, the Overwhelm with Knowledge promo in particular, I can't understate how grateful I was when that promo was announced. So for those who aren't sickos like me, who are trying to collect 1 copy of every Enter the Huddle promo card, for those who don't know, the Enter the Huddle promo set is 30 cards deep, right? That's the official word we've gotten from the OCG team. And leading up to this tournament, only 27 of those cards had come into existence. The 3 remaining being Overwhelm with Knowledge, Abstract Penguin, and Ascending Penguin, which we were told would remain digital exclusive promos. Which, again, to me, as a physical and digital collector, made absolutely no sense. Looking at my promo set and seeing those 3 empty spaces in the 30 cards there, it's just always going to feel incomplete. And I was legitimately very bummed when I learned.
But then they rug pulled us in a positive way.
Yeah, it's like they rug put us or rug pushed us where they printed the Overwhelm with Knowledge promo and then gave it out. which, again, fantastic. What an amazing promo. Big shouts to Blue Goo, who was also there. That was a fun surprise. Got to meet him. What a great guy. So talented. Yeah, so that just leaves the two, Abstract Penguin and Ascending Penguin. Gosh, let's just print those. Can we just print those? Get it over with, please. If any team members are listening, please.
Well, I'm sure it's in the works. If they made this one, why would they stop the other two?
Gosh, I just hope you're right.
And there's Blue
speaking
Goo,
of,
with the aforementioned promo.
Hell yeah. Claire on the left, Blue Goo on the right. Couple massive legends.
Yeah, let's take a little detour on the art. Not only is as you mentioned, a lot of the Magic players and non-Vibes players at first gave compliments on the art and how it caught their eye. Claire did a lot of the art there. Blue Goo with his promo and beautiful drawings. But I think we saw samples of Claire just going crazy on her altars. So do you want to talk about on what altars are and what she does with sketches or even foils?
For sure. I mean, yeah. So at these events, Claire does like commissions essentially, where you bring Claire a canvas, typically a card, sometimes other stuff, and you ask Claire to draw on it, and Claire makes it incredible. Seems to be the general process. We saw some absolutely insane altars, and every single one of them, like there were a couple where I was like, oh, that's like kind of cool, and then there were like so many more where I was like, geez, oh man, that's amazing. And the common denominator for all of the latter there was the people just giving the card or whatever to Claire and being like, do whatever you want with it. And then it just killed it over and over and over. Every single one I saw, I was like, I want that now. It's amazing. Bonk got his sketch Baron done up with this like sick banner that says Bonk at the bottom. My favorite was the Garfield lasagna.
Yeah, the Garfield lasagna was the coolest one. There was
like a tier of its own.
There was like a blossoming penguin where all the blossoms were colored in pink. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was my favorite. When I saw that, I was like, I didn't realize that was possible on these altars. So when I saw the coloring she did on the pink leaves, I was like, wow.
Yeah, that one bummed me out because I was so upset that I didn't bring my sketch card for Claire to alter.
Yeah, short-sighted. I didn't bring a single sketch. Very short-sighted.
Sounds like you guys are gonna have to qualify for the next Worlds then.
Darn.
Yeah, or just show up. Or just show up and hang out.
As long as the tickets are free. Maybe we can commentate.
Yeah, I haven't put my name in the hat in a while, but I've asked in the past, throw me in the booth. I got all the words. I know all the words.
I know some.
I believe it. All right. Anything else on the promos? You want to take a look at that one promo with all the other stuff? Like you mentioned the playmat already.
Oh yeah, the World's playmat. Like I don't think they could have done a better job personally. I mean, like what a handsome penguin! What a gorgeous playmat. The one up top there were a couple of playmats that featured the moonbirds. This one is definitely my favorite. I love this playmat.
Yeah, this one is my favorite of the Moonbird playmats. The Moonbird himself was also at Worlds, although he was obtuse. He was very wide. Seemed like he had a hard time moving around.
Oh, definitely.
I take that as Burbish.
God bless you.
And then what's this at the top right here? Caution fund. Looks like some sort of print.
Yes, that is a print of the an extended version of the card art for that card in particular is Goodnight Pengs. Yeah, that's honestly that's probably my biggest regret at Worlds was not picking up a couple of those prints. I just kept saying like I'll do it Sunday, and then I just played Vibes all Sunday and forgot when the convention ended. But yeah, there were a bunch of artworks from cards that we know about from Enter the Huddle or Legend of the Lils, and there were also some prints featuring several new cards where we get the card art obviously on the print and the card name at the bottom. And I don't remember any of the names, but I do remember a couple of the prints, and there was like one in particular that I was just infatuated with. I couldn't stop looking at it.
Yeah, there were a couple of cool ones, and huge surprise for everybody listening. There's gonna be moonbirds in the next set. What?
What?
I can't believe that.
That's a big spoiler you just dropped there.
Yeah, I know, it's alpha. I was at World, so I knew about the moonbirds.
It's alpha.
Mhm. And then the only thing I'll add is in terms of swag, they also sold shirts and hoodies, and I believe I saw Mudman walking around with a flying penguin bag.
Oh yeah, I got the bag. I got a couple of shirts.
Were there hoodies?
I don't know if there were hoodies. The print that had the penguin who zooms on it and said champion, that was a sweater.
Oh, yeah, shoot. I didn't get that. I did get the 2 t-shirts they had available, as well as a deck box.
Yeah, I got 2 deck boxes, 2 shirts.
Which deck box
No
did
prints.
you get?
I got the Yum Yum deck box and the blue goo
Wizard
yellow
of
green
Dreams?
wizard.
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, I got the Wizard of Dreams box. Man, what a nice deck box.
Yeah, I got the sweater, but Mudman, so you're telling me a sweater with a hood is not a hoodie? A hoodie is a zipped up.
Well, does the sweater have a hood? I thought it was hoodless.
It did.
Okay, well then it's a hoodie.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to clarify, make sure we're not confusing people here. All right. So jumping into Saturday now, everybody was playing for this, right?
Oh yeah, the big trophy, all the accolades that come with it.
Any critique or observations on this trophy?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it's nice. It's made
Yeah.
of pure ice, if you couldn't tell from the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tricky to get home, but really, really pretty when they handed it out. Yeah, no, there were actually also trophies for the
rest of
Friday
top 8.
LCQ
Oh yeah.
and the rest of the top 8 worlds and the Sunday 10K as well, for the winners of the Friday and Sunday tournaments and top 8 worlds. Those trophies were different. They were, I would say, they're more like plaques, kind of. Yeah, is that
Yeah,
the one?
that's the 10K championship
I feel
trophy.
like the 10K one had a Baron on it, no?
No, the world's top 8 trophies had barons on it.
Ah, that's what I was thinking about. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
they
right.
were just handing out like 1 million trophies, right?
At least 10.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah.
More than I expected.
Yeah. It was nice to see just, recognizing the top 8 and getting a trophy for that.
100%.
Yeah, and also they got the uncut sheets as well.
Right.
Yes, they did.
You want to explain what an uncut sheet is?
Sure. So for those who don't know, when cards are printed at the factory, they are printed on sheets and then they are cut into individual cards. And an uncut sheet is a sheet that they didn't cut. So it's just, very frameable, especially, and for additional cool points. The uncut sheets that featured the rares and epics from Enter the Huddle. The saucy actions on those sheets have a different border than they were ended up printed with in the actual set. They had like a first iteration that they later changed, and so that's extra cool, I think, personally. But I believe the distribution went something like 5th through 8th at Worlds got uncut sheets of common and uncommons non-foil. 3rd and 4th each got a sheet of common and uncommons that were foil. 2nd got like a rare and epic foil sheet, and 1st got the rare epic foil sheet and both of the different common uncommon foil sheets. So, whereas previously I believe there was only one uncut sheet in existence that Suarez won at the Championship of the Americas in Hartford, and now there are more than one there.
So these are the our top 8 here from the first day, right?
Bunch
They're
of
the ones that,
kings.
yeah, they won the trophies and the sheets.
Oh yeah. Let's see if I can do this. What did you say the Italian fellow's name was next to Suarez
It's
there?
like Gregor or something.
Golgari.
I thought it
Golgari.
was like Alessio.
That might have been his real name, and you might have doxed him, but he went under Golgari, Golgari.
Okay. So on the far left there, we have No, I'm Not. Lorcana legend turned vibes legend. We have Golgari next to him. Then there's Suarez, North American champion. Next to him, we got Random Jobber, top 8 at Hartford, nicest guy I'll ever meet. Next to him, we have Chonker, second nicest guy I'll ever meet. Relatively new vibes player, was the winner of the Vegas tournament. The SCG Con Vegas
Top 8
there.
of this tournament, and you can catch him streaming vibes on Twitch. He's been doing it most days at around 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
AM, PM?
PM.
Cool. Yeah, big shots, Chonker. What a great fella. Next to Chonker, we have TST Discord legend BBQ.
Yep. Big smile on his face, just like always.
Just like always. That's awesome. Next to him, we have the world champion of vibes. And then next to him, we have Dr. Camel.
And as you can see from Dr. Camel's expression, he knew he was going to top 8 the entire time. He is not surprised to be there at all.
Oh,
Looks right at home, so in his element.
yeah, and it looks like he just stuffed his deck in his left pocket here. Like he was just like, I gotta take a picture, and he just like shoved his deck in there.
Those
I
are all
think he's
his
just
Lucas.
happy to see us.
Oh.
Whoa!
Good joke,
Heyo! Heyo!
He's not here to defend himself.
Oh,
Yes, you can
Sure,
say whatever you want.
We can say whatever we want.
yeah, yeah. And then just for a quick deck breakdown, we have on the left side, No, I'm Not played Redurple Control. Golgari here, he played Bizbunk. Suarez, the Bizbunk legend himself. Random Jobber played a Redurple that was teched against Bizbunk a little bit. And we got Chonker, the lone Coliseum representative with a Bellyacre Coliseum deck. Barbecue ran a Redurple controls deck as well. Eaton ran the Bizbunk deck, and then Doc Camel ran I believe a red purple or red mid range tower deck.
Yep, so not a ton of diversity in the top 8. Mostly red purple, but we got the surprise Bizbunks in there. And Bizbunk was the real like talking point of the tournament. 3 players played Bizbunk, all 3 top 8'd, 100% conversion rate.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. So the breakdown here is we got 4 red purples, which I believe most players that followed the meta or played the game for a little bit understood as the best deck and would probably dominate the meta. We have 1 Coliseum only that made it that far, and maybe they were suppressed by Redurple. And then like as Mudman said, the 3 Bizbunks came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know me personally, when I was planning for Worlds, I was disregarding Bizbunk entirely. I figured Suarez would be the only one playing it, and it wouldn't do well, and I was planning on doing well, so I figured we would be on opposite sides of the spectrum, but I was wrong about that.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely considered it in the lead up to the tournament. I wouldn't say I made any big decisions solely based around Bizbunk. That said, when I was like, on the fence between 4 or 5 total I ran red purple for what it's worth. And when I was debating between 4 or 5 copies of a combination of Mount Fuji and Silent Snow Globe, Bizbunk did help justify the inclusion of a 5th Fuji or Snow Globe there. That said, it did not matter.
Yeah, I had 6 of those cards in combination, not because they're good against Bizbunk, but because they're good against Bellyacre.
Yeah, and other stuff, right? Exactly. Yeah, that said, the 3 Bizbunk players in the top 8 there, uh, Golgari, Suarez, and the world champion, I played all 3 of them
Oh,
during the Swiss rounds. In the Swiss rounds, I went 4-4 in my 8 games. I went 4-1 against everything but Bizbunk, and then I went 0-3 versus Bizbunk. And common denominator in all 3 of those games, I didn't see any of my 4 Fujis or my Silent Snow Globe. I have a feeling those would have helped a lot. That said, there's only so much you can do when you play card games that require shuffling and drawing. And definitely didn't help my case that all 3 of them are excellent players, just excellent card game players, period. And at least in Suarez and World Champs case, very, very experienced with the archetypes as well, knew exactly what to do in different situations, had some neat tech cards that, gave decks like mine some problems if they couldn't find their primary answers. Yeah, definitely. It is funny to me, like looking back, that Bizbunk 100% conversion rate, right? 3 entered, 3 made it to the knockouts, and just so happened that I played all 3 of them. Like that, it doesn't seem. I feel like I had to have been the only one that played all 3 of them.
Most likely.
During the Swiss rounds, anyway.
You should have done a little bit worse.
You
should have,
I should have
lost your
dropped the
second
one
game.
round earlier. Exactly. But yeah, like I said, going into it, it's not something I ever would have considered playing. That said, all 3 of them raised great points that they felt it was underrepresented on the ladder, because in the digital client, when you play Bizbunk, you are required to run at least 3, ideally 4 whats, just to help avoid timer issues. And even then, you might still run into timer issues if you're trying to play Bizbunk optimally. Whereas when you're over the board, as long as you're making an active decision, you have time to make each decision. So Bizbunk players aren't necessarily penalized by their deck, taking longer during specific turns to execute what it needs to do. Yeah, definitely a heady play by all 3 of them, and congrats to him. It worked out really, really well.
Yeah, it was great. I played against one Bizbunk during the entirety of all 3 tournaments. I was matched up against Suarez on the tournament on Sunday. Suarez didn't show up. He was too scared to play me, and/or he was competing in the World Championship. I don't know which is true, but technically that was my only Bizbunk matchup of the whole weekend.
Pretty good luck.
Yeah. For me, I actually played Golgari twice, and Friday against with my Coliseum deck, he just went too fast before I could even get to enough rods. I had Coliseum in hand. He comboed out and beat me. And the second match was on Saturday. I matched up against him again, but I was running Redurple at that point. I'll have to say that I'll admit to it. It was a play mistake on my part. I had the game controlled and should have won, but I think that was one of the experiences of playing online versus playing in person. There's just so many different factors to keep track of in person. Not that it's an excuse, but it's a different skills and things to consider and practice for.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound like an excuse at all to any reasonable person. It's just a reality. If you've only played Vibes on the digital client, I promise you don't realize how much the client does for you.
Oh yeah, every single digital player has the same thing to say. And if you're a digital player only, you're thinking, I could translate to IRL easily without looking it up. When the game starts, do you draw 7 cards? I bet lots of people don't know. That was a huge question. Whereas, how many cards did we start the game with?
Yeah, that might have been a product of seeing a lot of Magic players there as well.
Well, yeah, Magic does start with 7.
But little things like that, shuffling after the mulligan there, little things to keep track of. Permanent count is a big one for sure. Lots of decks have lots of counters now, so remembering all of your triggers. Things like Sneaky Penguin can sneak by super easily, start of turn effects, start of action phase effects, etc. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more that you have to just hold in your head the entire time.
Yeah, right on, right on. And you were talking about the shuffling. Yeah, I mean, for someone that like me that lets the digital client do the shuffling. Shuffling right before the match was stressful for me because I'm trying to not fumble the cards and spill them on the table, but at the same time trying to keep them face down so I'm not flashing what my deck is. So yeah, it required a lot of concentration on my part.
Same.
Yeah, I was always shuffling in between matchups so I could shuffle quickly and then get right to it.
That's a good tip.
That's alpha.
All right. Yeah. All right. So anything else on the tournaments?
Yeah, I think that's it for Worlds. Like we have the other Sunday tournament that we can discuss. It's not as cool as Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I know you guys both participated in the sealed tournament, right?
Oh, sort of. I opened my sealed packs and then I kept playing in the 10K tournament that was going on simultaneously.
Yeah, that I ran into the same issue there, where the sealed tournament started during like round 4 or 5 of an 8-round Swiss tournament on Sunday. So same thing. I signed up for sealed so I could get my packs. I ripped them. I built my deck, and I played 2 of the first 4 rounds before dropping, because the prizes for the sealed tournament was tickets for like the prize wall there. For those who don't know, when you participate in certain events during SCG cons, you earn tickets that you can redeem with what they call the prize wall, which is just like, like any arcade prize wall, you redeem your tickets for prizes. They have packs, play mats, jumbo cards, etc. Whereas the 10K, the prize is 10,000 US dollars. So I prioritized the tournament with the 10,000 US dollar prize pool over the sealed tournament there.
Yeah, and you do get the popcorn penguin even if you drop out of the sealed tournament.
Yes, that was the primary reason, because I think it was like $45 to enter, and you got 8 packs.
Yep.
Right.
And the popcorn and the other guy.
$5.50 to $6 a pack. You could look at it like that, which is like, not great, but not like terrible for Legend of the Lils packs. But yeah, most importantly, just for entering, you got a Popcorn Penguin promo and a Lord of Lightning promo, which, just on the secondary right now, if you couldn't get $100 for the 2 of them, I would be pretty surprised. So, definitely worth just, signing up. I got a couple hundred tickets and then went back to focusing on the cash prize tournament.
Yeah, no. Yeah, for me on the Sunday tournament, so this was another thing I experienced, difference from playing online versus in person. I just felt it was more demanding physically and mentally. By Sunday, after Worlds A1, I just, on the last tournament on Sunday, the 10K, I just felt like I was going through the motions, not really being as sharp as I could have been. I just felt drained.
Well, yeah, it's way more taxing because like you have to do all the physical things. There's more stuff to think about, and then you only ever have like 5 or 10 minutes between rounds, and the line for food is always more than 5 to 10 minutes. So you end up going for like 8 hours, not eating, using your brain the entire time. It's quite taxing.
Yeah. And I think you made a great point when we were there. It's not just, the physical demands that you just brought up there, but I know for me personally, most of the time when I'm playing Vibes in the comfort of my own home on the digital client, I'm literally like sitting in my recliner with like, a warm coffee and a cat next to me, slumped over, just like looking at the screen the entire time. Whereas, in person, you want to make sure that you're being at least a little bit personable, ideally, being like, like a social human being in some capacity, which is more than zero effort, at least for me. And just the things we were talking about, making sure your hand stays visible the whole time, and like separate from like your other cards there. Just those little things.
Yeah, which like some
it
people
adds
don't
up,
do.
for
And when
sure.
someone puts their hand near their rods and you can't look away. You have to look at their rods the entire time. You have to be significantly more vigilant than normal.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else noteworthy about the Sunday tournament?
I guess there are two more things that come to mind. One, the most important thing, and unfortunately, I don't think you have a picture of it queued up. There was the professor, and he was dressed to impress. He
Oh,
had the blazer, the TST shirt, the matching pants. So that was real cool. You don't usually get to see the professor in all of his glory when you're playing online.
yeah. The professor came ready to teach and dress to impress. Had
Yeah,
the TST swag going.
so much. It was ridiculous. Like I was so happy to see you, and then immediately like so sad at how much of a bum I looked like compared to you.
I didn't even know that shirt came in pink.
Oh yeah, I specifically looked for it. So yeah, speaking of TST swag, anything to mention about that caution fund?
Yeah, we have a working website again, and there is merch that you can purchase on there. Uh, I have a bunch of different items on there.
Hmm.
I think every single one. That said, if I had to recommend one, I would recommend the 11 or 15-ounce mugs. Uh, they are excellent, like top quality mugs. I've a couple of them I've had going on like 4 or 5 years now. Use them every week. Dishwasher, all that. They look new. Um, just great mugs. Like you can't help but smile when you see Pebbles waving to you in the mornings. Uh, Definitely great. So yeah, if you feel like Team Stream Team and need mugs or hats or some cool T-shirts, uh,
Shirts.
you can go to two websites. There's teamstreamteam.com, or you could go to teamstream.team, which is
Hmm.
even less letters. So yeah, definitely check that out if you like those things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then the final point I'd like to touch on for the Worlds tournament is we had some controversy. We had a couple of
Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh players who were
oh,
excessively. If you want to be as charitable as possible, they were extremely shady. If you want to call a spade, they were actively cheating throughout the entire tournament and never got disqualified.
yeah, it was pretty crazy. Um, it was my second game. Uh, when we were like shuffling, starting the game, uh, I noticed a fella behind me standing over my shoulder a couple feet back. Just a fella that I hadn't seen before. Figured he was checking out the game, and then my Italian opponent and I did our mulligans, and then the fella behind me, standing over my shoulder, just walked over to my opponent and started talking to him in Italian. And I
Mhm.
asked my opponent, I was like, do you know that guy? And he was like, yes, he's my friend. Uh, at which point I was like, hey, go around to the other fella, because I didn't know that. The fella watched me mulligan, and then went and talked to my opponent.
It's also
It was
important to
like,
note that we were explicitly told that you cannot talk to any players while they are playing.
yeah, while they're seated, exactly. And we were also asked if we're going to observe games to take several steps back as to not. Anyways, so that all happened.
Oh,
Gratefully, he didn't glean too much information, I guess. Oh yeah, fella on the right
well,
there.
no, well, no. I just wanted to say, nothing about this picture specifically, but I saw a nice picture of you smiling with Sashi in the background. Just wanted to bring that picture up for no
Yeah,
reason, but
big shouts to the cameraman who was there all weekend because I was messing with him all day Friday. Every time I saw him, I just looked right into the camera lens, which like I
ah,
know that you're not supposed to do as a bit. And this one is like the perfect. I got him so good on this one. It's like insane. Um, but yeah, more importantly, in the foreground, that fella in the green hoodie there, that was I would call him the spotter, because he was the guy that was standing behind me during my mulligan and then went to talk to my opponent. There were 3 or 4 of them, all like clearly buddies. Apparently they are professional Yu-Gi-Oh players that were invited to participate in the tournament. I hope they're not invited again because they clearly have no respect for the rules. It was insane. Like after my game, I told Sashi what happened. I was like, "Hey, that fellow was standing behind me during my mulligan." Then he went over and talked to my opponent. Clearly can't have that. And as I was telling him that, the next round was getting set up, and sure enough, there was a buddy in the green hoodie there, set up behind his buddy's opponent again.
Oh no.
So yeah, I was expecting some kind of repercussions there. It doesn't seem like there were any beyond warnings.
Well, that guy was asked to leave, but
oh yeah,
like
yeah.
your favorite cartoon villain, he came right back with a brand new set of clothes and continued doing exactly what he was doing.
That is true.
Wow.
He did
Wow.
change his hoodie and beanie and came back within an hour. It was incredible.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like you can't get much more brazen than that.
Yeah, and then besides that, the Yu-Gi-Oh players, they were doing a lot of slow playing when they knew they were in bad spots. They were doing a lot of picking up their rods and acting as if it was their hands. I know Ari was on the receiving end of some real snake-like
They
behavior.
kept trying to skip phases.
Yeah,
when it benefited them.
Yeah, they would often the action time would begin. They would go vibe check. You win the vibe check. That type of stuff. And then Ari got into one where they went overtime, and they finished the game. And Ari managed to win on the last turn, and his opponent went to shake his hand and just said draw. And Ari shook his hand real fast and then went, "Wait, what did you say?" And he went, "Draw. You agreed to it. You just agreed to a draw." Which obviously is not the case. Ari won that game.
Yeah.
And everybody was the game.
Luckily,
also
there were witnesses.
Yeah, the game went for like 30 minutes longer than every other game, so everybody was watching, and everyone was like, "No, he didn't. You didn't. It's not a draw just because you tried to trick him."
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Bad guys, rotten eggs.
Well, yeah. Speaking of you tracking the cameraman down. Here's another great picture of you.
He got me back on this one for sure.
Yeah, it's shot Sneaker. You're talking to Sneaker Dad right there, one of the commentators.
Yep.
And we even got Mudman here, doing his thing over there.
That picture is that's me finding out I have to go across the hall and give a fella my social security number.
Oh no! Did you make it out okay?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Big shots, Jared from Star City Games. That dude is so kind and helpful, even if you're an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Sneaker Dad. He actually alerted me on late Friday that because I had tried to keep my appearance on the Portland under wraps, people informed them that I wasn't going, that I had canceled. So then he cleared up some things with Star City to make sure that I was not accidentally unenrolled on the Saturday tournament.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, no, he was on the ball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So talking about swag and art, here's some more pictures. I think this is one of the things you were talking about, Caution.
Oh yeah, those are the prints, the art prints.
Yeah, the nice ones with the burbs. I guess these prints are going to be cards in set 3, right?
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah. Nice. And last thing before we jump into sort of after the tournament, what happened? I noticed something that stood out in this picture here. So while I was looking at it, I noticed right at your feet, Caution, you have a little penguin here. What's the story with that?
That's Don Pang, very very popular figure in Hawaii and Japan. Big shout out to Rid Sevilla, the legend. Yeah, just as if his presence wasn't enough of a present, he also brought gifts, and one of them was a Don Peng. I have him right in front of me right now. I'm looking at him right now. Who's like a mascot for a store, a Don Quixote themed store, if I remember correctly.
That's what the store is called at the very least.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a little fella I was unfamiliar with, but he is technically a pudgy little penguin fella, so I love him. And you can't make it up. Not what was it? 5 minutes in the convention hall after Rid gave me that little fella, and I put him on my backpack. A Japanese fella came up to me and was like, "Hi, can I like please get a picture of your backpack to like show the folks back home?" He had like a vlogging type camera with him. He was just so stoked to see it. So they literally made me a new friend in like 5 minutes. It was awesome.
In stark contrast, I also had a Don Quixote penguin, but no one came to talk to me about that. Some guy came up to me and just immediately started talking about porn.
That did happen.
It was terrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What gave off that vibes that you were someone to talk
Mustache.
to?
Yeah, he was just like, "Nice mustache, let's talk porn." And I was just like, "I
Oh,
don't know." And then
jeez.
he didn't take no for an answer.
He was very insistent that he found his porn soulmate, huh?
Yes. He was insisting that we were wearing the same clothes, which we weren't. And that really threw me for a loop because he was like, "We're wearing the same clothes. We're not wearing any of the same clothes." And then he kept being like, "So big porn guy, huh?" And I was like, "Not really." And he was like, "Ron Jeremy, yay or nay?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Maybe he was hinting that you guys were wearing the same clothes and you would be able to agree with him if you guys took them off and laid them side by side and then compare and contrast in that manner in
Did
the
you try
privacy
that?
of his room.
We didn't try undressing,
Oh,
but
okay.
he started off by saying we had the same hat, and mine was an orange cap hat, and his was just a hat. So it went poorly. I wanted to have the Don Quixote friends. I got weird porn guy.
Yeah. We were looking at you during this whole interaction, and we couldn't believe what was going on. And you looked so uncomfortable, but it was funny that I'm sorry we didn't step in and stop that guy.
And then he just walked away randomly. It was a great experience.
Sometimes it's a swing and a whiff, and you got to find other prey.
You guys hung out later though, right?
No, I think he was upset that I wasn't a big porn guy like him.
Can't win them all.
Yeah, maybe next time. All right. Anything else on the weekend you guys want to mention about the first ever Lives World Championship weekend?
It was the best weekend I've had in a long time. It felt like a fantasy land. The whole time I was there, really. From honestly, when we arrived at Newark International Airport, New Jersey, is when it started to feel surreal. Because we got to our gate, and there were a couple like long tables at our gate, and 1.5 of them was filled with what must have been like 20-30 people all playing Magic the Gathering.
Yep, and then the whole flight there was people talking about card games.
Yeah,
everyone in the hotel talking about what they're playing this weekend. It was very strange.
So cool. Like, yeah, walking back to my room at like 10 in the evening, a couple of fellas are walking down the hallway, and when they get within earshot, I just hear the one guy saying, "So turn one," he opens with and it's like, it just crazy. Just, never been in a place where like everybody is thinking about card games all the time. It was pretty awesome. Felt like home.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It was great to be with like-minded people, competitors, collectors, gamers, card players. Yeah, it was a great experience, and meeting the community in person was definitely the best thing.
Yeah, that's true. BBQ was holding down the hotel lobby. Man of his word, he said whoever finishes best at Worlds should pay for dinner that evening. And while he didn't pay for dinner, he did make it up to everybody by buying them at least one drink, from what I could tell.
Or more in many people's cases.
Yeah, he bought me an orange juice, which again I appreciate. Big shouts BBQ. Yeah, he and Ari were going shot for a bit. It was cool to see a bunch of people just like kick back and like chill after like a mentally taxing weekend. It was such a cool environment. Like everybody, I think, just by nature is like super super nice, and it was just like accentuated, if anything.
Yeah, it was a real fun scene at the end of Worlds. Just like probably like 20, 25 people, like all vibes players, just, talking afterwards, having a lot of fun. Ari had a rude awakening when he found out the bar closed at midnight. He couldn't believe that Freedom Country would dare
He was
close the bars
so
ever.
funny. Big shots, Ari, massive legend. Like I had high expectations for how funny Ari would be, and he was 10 times funnier in person. Just in every bit. However awesome you think Ari is, just like add a little multiple on top of that. Dude's so funny. Yeah, I will say on that last night, he might have been the only person not like purely happy. He had some very strong opinions that he felt very compelled to share with Elliot and Sneaker Dad and Jeremy
and anybody.
any OCG team member who would listen, and any non-OCG team member who would listen. But yeah, if anything, just added to the hilarity of the evening for me.
Yeah, besides that, I think that's basically it for Worlds. We had a real easy time getting home. I know a lot of people had terrible luck with their layovers because it was all the snow. I imagine your flight home was pretty easy going back south, right, Professor?
Yeah. Mine was fine. I actually saw Mindstorm at the airport and kept him company a little bit because he had gotten to the airport at 7 in the morning because his flight was early. We got there, they kept delaying it, and then mid-morning they finally canceled it, but they were trying to rebook him. So by the time I saw him, it was 3 in the afternoon. So he had been there, I don't know what that is, 6, 8 hours. He was just roading back and forth. So just hung out with him at his gate till they got him on a flight. Wished him luck, and it worked. He was able to get home 16 hours later.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, poor guy.
I'm just glad he made it back safely.
Yeah, but for the most part, I know everybody did eventually get back. I know Thieves Deuce almost lost his jumbo card, but that managed to make it back to his home state. So all in all, I think everybody had a pretty great time. I know I
Agreed.
certainly did.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
big time. It's truly a weekend I will never forget, and excellent motivation to get back on the grind and qualify again next year.
Agreed.
And it got us back together to do another podcast.
Yeah, we didn't have enough news to talk about in the before times.
Yeah. In this
Yeah.
post-Worlds era. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know, since we last did a podcast episode, I think the community has brought forward, a lot of, I guess, areas where they believe the OCG team has not met expectations. It's the most diplomatic way I could say it. I can say it. And yeah, like I know just from talking to the team at Worlds and elsewhere, they've definitely heard all of it and are definitely looking to act on it. We got a lot of reassurances, I would say, talking to the team at Worlds. Just that they're mindful of the feedback, they're looking to iterate on it, and that we should be looking forward to 2026 as a very positive year for vibes. We'll see. Hopefully that comes to fruition.
And you can see just little things like
yeah.
the world's playmat looked really great, and a lot of people had criticisms about the European playmat, and they most certainly read all those criticisms and then implemented it with this world's playmat, and nobody had anything bad to say about that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but yeah, I could just again talking to the team members that I was able to at Worlds, it was very clear all of them care a lot, and they genuinely seem excited for the things they have in store for us. So
yep, everyone who was there seemed very excited.
Hopefully, it provides plenty of fuel for more podcast episodes.
Yeah, definitely. At least with we're certainly going to get season 3 spoilers any minute now, or more season 3 spoilers at the very least.
Yeah.
No, I think you hit on it. Probably another podcast episode down the line talking about the 2026 plans. They leaked or they shared the digital path to Worlds. So we could probably tease that for our next podcast. Talk about the set 3, as my man's saying. Talk about the changes that the team is doing.
Yeah, and I know I kind of cornered him at the time, and I got a very, very loose non-commitment, but open to it type reaction from both, but I did ask Jeremy and Berto if they would come on the pod, and yeah, maybe we can swing something like that. That would be cool. I'd love to talk to Clara. You know, a lot of them really.
It's nice. Sounds
Kept
good.
with Spencer.
Yeah, probably weasel some spoilers out of them.
Yeah, I don't know which one will be a tougher ask. Weaseling out some spoilers or getting Spencer on the podcast.
Well,
Weaseling out spoilers, I think.
I'm down to find out if that's what the people want.
We aim to please.
All right, but I think
All
that's all we have on the docket for this podcast. Unless you guys have anything you want to add.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Check out teamstream.team.
Yep.
Yeah, or
Thank
what's
you
the
again.
other URL?
Teamstreamteam.com.
Oh, very nice. That's where you can get all your Team Stream Team goods. I hope you guys had a fun time listening. I hope you guys are excited for more vibes in the future. And that's it for us.
Bye.